What's up guys? Today I'm doing this video because when I went to look for information for this myself, I found that there really wasn't a huge amount of it out there, and I definitely didn't see much on YouTube. So I thought this might be informative. If you've got the 6th gen Grand Prix, odds are your car came factory with the same sort of a surfboard looking spoiler that all of them did, except for a very few base models in the early years. Pretty much all of them have that spoiler, whether it's a base model, a GT, or a GTP. However, if you're wanting to upgrade the looks a little bit, you do have a few options. There are aftermarket spoilers available, but there's also a couple variations of the factory spoiler. So I thought today I would go over the two variations that I have access to right now and show you what and how you would be able to swap those. Okay, so your first two variations that you can go with is either one, to remove the spoiler entirely. I'm not a big fan of that, although you can see that on my 99 right now because I'm in the process of doing some changing. But I personally am just not a huge fan of the shape of the back of the car without a spoiler. But I'm not a huge fan of the factory spoiler either, and it doesn't help that they're on every single Grand Prix. So looking at the back, they all look the same. However, a couple variations you can go with. The first would be the special edition spoiler. This is what it looks like. It is kind of similar in shape to the factory spoiler. It is raised quite a bit off the deck lid though. And the pros and cons to this spoiler are, on the pro side, it will bolt up with all of the factory bolt holes. So you can take your stock spoiler off and bolt this right into the same place with very little to no problems. So that's a big benefit. Style-wise, it depends on whether you like it or not. I'm not as big a fan of it because I think it's a little big and a little bit loud, but it is a nice way to do some variation without having to do a lot of work. You really shouldn't have to do any body work unless you're having to paint the spoiler. If you can find one that happens to already be your car's color, it's literally just a bolt-on swap. So that's a very easy way to go. However, what I think has historically been the more popular one, and definitely the one that I'm planning on going with, would be this one. This little guy, which I just started painting, it's only got its first coat on there so far. This is the 40th anniversary / Daytona edition spoiler. It is more of a spoiler for the back lip. However, this is not a direct bolt-on to your factory trunk lid. If you're trying to replace a stock spoiler with this spoiler, be aware that you will have to not only fill your factory holes, but you will have to drill new ones because these do not bolt in the same place at all. These actually have these 3 bolt holes down here that actually bolt in along the back side of the trunk. But once you've drilled those 3 holes and get it plopped in there, it is by far, in my opinion, the best looking spoiler as far as all of the stock spoilers go for this particular body style. Now, be aware when you drill those holes, one of them will go all the way through, no big deal. The other 2 go into a cavity between the outside and the support framing of the trunk. So you'll have to actually drill holes from both ways to get a big enough one to put the nut under there. So it's gonna be a little bit of work. With that and the filling of the factory holes, you're definitely gonna be doing a little bit of body work. However, if you can get a hold of a 40th or a Daytona that already has that spoiler, the trunk lid is a direct swap. All you have to do is take the whole trunk lid and move it to your car, and no body work required if it's the same color. If it's not the same color, just painting it, which isn't a big deal. So that's the different spoiler options. This is the one that I will be going with, and I'm going to do a separate video on this because there's going to be body work involved and stuff. And I know I'm also afraid of the idea that I'm going to have to do body work. I'm not looking forward to it, but it is what it is. That's what I have to work with. Either way though, I thought this might be informative to some of you guys who are thinking about this. I have seen people ask about these spoilers and whether or not they fit. So hopefully that answers some questions for you. If you have any more, drop them down in the comments. Make sure you like this video and you're subscribed to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.